without your bags. The excitement of arriving in New York City can be overwhelming, but nothing quite dampens the mood like missing luggage. Thomas, fresh off the plane from London, was brimming with enthusiasm. He had been dreaming of this moment for years, imagining the bustling streets, the towering skyscrapers, and the endless opportunities that awaited him. As he stepped onto American soil with a wide grin, he felt a rush of adrenaline. This was it, the beginning of his grand adventure in the Big Apple. New York City, the city that never sleeps. The vibrant energy of Times Square, the iconic skyline, and the promise of new experiences filled his mind. He could barely contain his excitement. Every corner of this city held something new and thrilling, and he was eager to explore it all. He was ready for hot dogs, Broadway shows, and the endless array of street performers. The thought of seeing a Broadway show live, something he had only ever seen on TV, made his heart race. And of course, the Empire State Building. He had read about it, seen it in movies, but now he was going to see it in person. The anticipation was almost too much to bear. First things first, though, he needed his suitcase. It held all his essentials, his clothes, his camera, and his guidebook to the city. He waited by the baggage carousel, anticipation bubbling in his chest. Minutes ticked by, and he watched as other passengers grabbed their bags and headed out, their journeys beginning. Other passengers grabbed their bags and headed out. Thomas watched them with a mix of envy and impatience. He just wanted to get started on his adventure. Thomas started to feel a familiar knot of worry in his stomach. Where was his luggage? The carousel was nearly empty now, and his suitcase was nowhere to be seen. His excitement began to wane, replaced by a growing sense of dread. What if his luggage was lost? What if it never arrived? He took a deep breath, trying to stay calm. This was just a minor setback, he told himself. New York City was still out there, waiting for him. He just had to find his suitcase first. As the carousel ground to a halt, Thomas's heart sank. His trusty blue suitcase was nowhere to be seen. His smile morphed into a grimace. Lost luggage, every traveler's nightmare. He pictured his carefully planned outfits, his guidebook, even his toothbrush trapped in transit limbo. Memories of past travel hiccups flashed before his eyes. This wasn't his first rodeo. He took a deep breath, reminding himself to stay calm. He had faced travel snafus before, and he would conquer this one too. Remember that time you lost your luggage in Rome? The frustration of waiting at the carousel, watching everyone else grab their bags and leave while you stood there empty-handed, fretting over your missing sandals, the ones you bought specifically for the trip, imagining all the places you would wear them? Well, Thomas had a trick up his sleeve. He wasn't going to let a lost suitcase ruin his vacation. Before leaving for his trip, he'd downloaded a handy luggage tracking app. It was a simple app, but it promised to keep track of his belongings. As soon as he realized his luggage was missing, he whipped out his phone, his fingers flying across the screen with practiced ease. He input his baggage claim information, hoping for a glimmer of hope. And there it was. The app showed the exact location of his suitcase. His suitcase was still at Heathrow Airport. Relief washed over him. He could now plan his next steps without the anxiety of not knowing where his belongings were. The app even provided updates on its whereabouts and estimated arrival time. It was like having a personal assistant dedicated to his luggage. Technology 1, lost luggage 0. Thanks to the app, Thomas could enjoy his trip without the constant worry of lost luggage. It was a game changer for travelers everywhere. Imagine the peace of mind, knowing that no matter where you are in the world, you can always find your luggage. It's a small investment for a stress-free travel experience. So next time you pack your bags, remember to download that luggage tracking app. It might just save your trip, because in today's world, there's an app for that. With his luggage situation sorted, Thomas set out to explore the city. He braved the subway armed with a map and a can-do spirit. But navigating the labyrinthine tunnels proved trickier than expected. He hopped on the wrong train twice, ending up in Queens instead of Times Square. He chuckled to himself, realizing that getting lost was all part of the adventure. He eventually found his way, albeit a little disoriented, and with a newfound appreciation for clear signage. Undeterred by his subway escapade, Thomas decided to embrace a tried-and-true travel strategy, asking for directions. He approached a friendly-looking vendor selling hot pretzels. "Excuse me," he began, his British accent thick, Could you point me towards the nearest subway station?" The vendor, a born and bred New Yorker, responded with a grin and a wave of his hand. "Just 2 blocks that way, buddy. You can't miss it." Thomas thanked him, realizing that sometimes a little local knowledge goes a long way. Embrace the unexpected. Travel is an adventure, not a checklist. When we set out on a journey, it's easy to get caught up in the idea of ticking off a list of must-see attractions and must-do activities. But true travel is about more than just checking boxes. It's about immersing yourself in new experiences, embracing the unknown, and finding joy in the unexpected moments that come your way. As his trip continued, Thomas faced more minor hiccups. His carefully laid plans seemed to unravel at every turn. The bus he was supposed to take to a famous landmark broke down, leaving him stranded in a small, unfamiliar town. But instead of feeling frustrated, he decided to explore the town, discovering a charming local market and friendly residents who shared stories and laughter with him. A sudden downpour left him soaked while exploring Central Park. He had planned to spend the afternoon leisurely strolling through the park, but the weather had other ideas. Drenched and cold, he sought shelter under a large tree, where he met a group of fellow travelers. They shared their own travel mishaps and adventures, turning a rainy day into a memorable experience filled with camaraderie and laughter. A Broadway show he'd booked was unexpectedly canceled. Thomas had been looking forward to this highlight of his trip, but instead of letting disappointment take over, he decided to explore the city at night. He wandered through the streets, discovering hidden gems like a quaint bookstore and a lively street performer who captivated passers-by with his talent. But instead of letting these setbacks dampen his spirits, he chose to embrace the spontaneity of it all. Each unplanned detour became an opportunity for a new adventure. He found joy in the little things, like a spontaneous conversation with a local artist or stumbling upon a hidden cafe with the best coffee he'd ever tasted. He ducked into a cozy jazz bar to escape the rain, enjoying the soulful music and lively atmosphere. The dim lighting and smooth melodies created a perfect backdrop for reflection. As he sipped his drink, he realized that these unplanned moments were the true essence of travel, offering a deeper connection to the places he visited and the people he met. He stumbled upon a street food festival, indulging in delicious tacos and vibrant cultural performances. The air was filled with the aroma of various cuisines, and the lively music and dance performances added to the festive atmosphere. Thomas found himself dancing along with the crowd, feeling a sense of belonging and joy that no planned itinerary could have provided. He learned that sometimes, the best travel experiences are the unplanned ones. These moments of spontaneity and surprise brought a richness to his journey that no guidebook could capture. Travel is an adventure, not a checklist, and it's in the unexpected twists and turns that we find the true magic of exploring the world. Thomas's top travel tips: learn from my mishaps. Throughout his New York City adventure, Thomas picked up some valuable travel tips. Always pack essentials in your carry-on, just in case your luggage takes a detour. Download useful apps like translation tools, ride-sharing services, and yes, luggage trackers. Don't be afraid to ask locals for directions or recommendations. They often know the hidden gems. And most importantly, embrace the unexpected. Travel is full of surprises, and it's often the detours that lead to the most memorable moments. Don't just dream about it, do it, but pack light. Thomas's New York adventure taught him that even with lost luggage, unexpected detours, and the occasional language barrier, travel is always worthwhile. It's about stepping outside your comfort zone, embracing new experiences, and creating stories that will last a lifetime. So what are you waiting for? Book that trip, pack your bags lightly, and get ready for an adventure of your own. Join the adventure, subscribe for more travel tales. Want to hear more about Thomas's hilarious travel mishaps and learn from his experiences? Subscribe to our channel for more travel tips, destination guides, and funny anecdotes that will inspire you to explore the world. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an adventure.